Hello everyone, Tony Heywood is my name. I'm Regional VP for ANZ for Tradewinds, a Talaris Group company. For the purposes of this conversation, we're going to just be referring to Talaris. Sitting here with Craig Sims, the Co-Managing Director of CCNA, an Australian systems integrator. Craig, welcome. We really appreciate you giving us some time.
Yeah, thanks Tony. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So we're here at an industry conference with about 600, 700 other partners. And it's been an enlightening event. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about your background, where you've come from and what your experience is.
Yeah, so I've been in the IT industry for over 25 years.
I didn't know it was that long.
So yeah, it's been a little while. So started off in application development. So speech recognition, IVRs.
Were you writing the code?
A lot of the code, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In those days, it was all written from scratch. So C++, Java.
Okay.
Developing it all out. So, come from a software development background. On from that, then ran a large services business, providing integration services around ANZ, and then started our own business 16 years ago with my business partner Owen. So. And we've been running that for 16 years now. Started off chiefly as a integrator who specialised in UC and contact centre.
Okay.
And that's grown out now and with a range of IT products, a lot of AI at the moment, a lot of security, sitting on top of networks, and of course the UC and contact centre side of things.
Okay. So, and you've been in your own business for 16 years. There was a tipping point where you decided enough was enough, you wanted to go out on your own. And we won't get into the reasons why, but that was a gamble in the first place, whenever you start your own business. But you've been very successful, and I would say one of the top 50 systems integrators in the country. But then this whole agency model came along, and you were one of the early adopters of it. What about that was attractive to you?
Oh, it enables you to get into other vendors and other parts of the IT landscape that we wouldn't have had a chance to otherwise. There's a lot goes into setting up a vendor relationship, and mapping it out, and there's a lot of time for the integrator around that. There's legal agreements, there's all the training and certifications that goes with it. There's a whole range of meetings that go on.
Quite often it can cost you a couple of $100,000 a year in time and real money.
Oh, absolutely, and then you're managing that vendor directly for large portions of the year, and you haven't got time to stretch yourself too far. So you've got a limited amount of staff, and the agency model makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, and look, one of the, I guess, differences is that when you are a certified partner, you certainly have loyalty to that supplier, but your partnership is based on achieving targets and volumes, and therefore your ability to compete against other partners selling the same thing is often based on what you're already doing and how cheaply you can buy, how much discount you can get up front. Okay, whereas
it does pin you into a corner. You're working on limited margins quite often. And as you say, you are competing against a set amount of other integrators in that space, and it can become very competitive.
Okay, so let me switch tack for a little bit. So from a business owner point of view, where you're looking at the profit line and what actually pays all the bills. Obviously, when you're running a systems integration, you've got hard cost of goods sold against what you do. You've got either salaries, you've got premises, you've got equipment and services that you need to provide. So you're working on a margin plus model or a cost plus model. Whereas in agency, the money comes through each month as a commission or an upfront spiff and then commission, which then represents 100% EBITDA contribution to the business. So can you talk a little bit about why that might be attractive to you as a business owner?
Well, it's very attractive, and especially over time when you build out those commissions. They're ongoing and quite often for long periods of time. So the contracts are usually 3 years plus. But on top of that, those contracts can keep on rolling over as well.
Of course.
So the model works really well when you've built a customer base around it. And you can continue building on that, and you you've got costs coming in each month for your business, but you're also getting paid commissions monthly on the other side. So it does flatten out your revenue structure, makes it a lot easier to run the business.
Yeah, because it's predictable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and high profit.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's 100% profit, the commission model, right? So
Yeah.
it's coming in and it's covering your direct costs really well.
Okay. So another, I guess, additive to the model, being a systems integrator, you're deeply certified in, let's say brand A, and you might be bidding on a piece of business, but for whatever reason, you've been rejected for a deal registration because there's another partner that's also certified that is bidding on that business. So talk to me about a little bit about how having access to other brands enables you to bid for that business anyway.
Well, it enables, if we get knocked back on a deal registration for a particular product set, there's a range of vendors there through the agency model which we can go and bid with. So it's a matter about having a look at the requirements and working out which ones suit that model.
And that opportunity.
And then wrapping our services around it. The ability to wrap our service around it because it's a massive advantage over other suppliers who rely on the vendor services.
Okay, yeah, and that's a key strategic advantage of being a systems integrator. When you do a deal with one of our suppliers, obviously our supplier is invoicing the end user for their licensing requirements, but then you have the ability to build services around the offering. So can you talk to us a little bit about what sort of services you might want to provide, even though you're not invoicing the license?
Yeah, so the vendor will generally invoice the licenses directly, but then around that you've got all the project costs. You've got project management, you've got integration of the particular set.
Yes.
So whether it's a UC solution where you're rolling out handsets and soft phones, or it's a contact center where you're rolling out agents and training them up and programming the contact center, or it could be security, it could be a network deployment. So there's a lot of services that sit around that, and then on the back end of that, then you've got we generally put a managed service around that solution, which we then invoice monthly along with the vendor's invoice, and wrap it all into one solution.
All right. So Craig, CCNA has been quite successful with this agency model. In fact, I would say one of the most successful. So it might not be in your interest to say this, but if you were talking to someone, another systems integrator, what would you say to them if they were considering or were looking for options and maybe dealing with Telarus in an agency model in addition to their systems integration business?
I'd say they're crazy if they're not looking at an agency model.
Okay.
And there's a number of reasons behind that, but the chief one is the range it gives you.
Yeah.
And the ability to bring on new technologies. So we're at an industry event at the moment, and just based on that industry event, there's 4 or 5 particular technologies that I've had a look at that really interest me.
Okay.
So there's the ability to be able to talk to those particular providers, and bring them on into
with
our
virtually
portfolio.
zero cost.
Yeah, with a very little cost, right? A fraction of what it's going to cost you to deal with that vendor directly.
Okay. Well, Craig, thanks for giving us some time. And if those of you watching this video see if I've piqued any interest or Craig's answered questions in a way that maybe you think, well, maybe we could look at the agency model, then please speak with Telarus. We look forward to engaging with you and helping you solve a few of your business challenges. Craig, thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony.
Ta.